The Shining is one of the most debated horror films ever made. Its ambiguous ending, mixed with Kubrick's known elusiveness, sets up for multiple different interpretations of the story. But what makes Kubrick's adaptation so different from Stephen King's novel? And why did King hate it so much? Today, I want to explore how Kubrick subtly critiques King's original story. Instead of telling a story about the addiction, struggle, and redemption of Jack Torrance, Kubrick presents horror as something inevitable, something that Jack was always meant to become. In King's novel, Jack Torrance is written as a flawed but sympathetic man. He's battling his addiction, trying to redeem himself, and genuinely loves his family. But Kubrick's version of Jack is completely different. Look at how he reacts when he hears about the murder-suicide in the Overlook Hotel.
Well, obviously, some people can be put off by the idea of staying alone at a place where something like that actually happened.
Well, you can rest assured, Mr. Ullman, that's not going to happen with me.
There's no hesitation, no discomfort, just a casual, almost amused response. This tells us something crucial. Jack isn't just a victim of the hotel's influence. The seeds of his violence were always there. Unlike King's novel, where Jack struggles against the supernatural forces, Kubrick's film suggests he was always meant to become part of the Overlook's cycle of violence. This small change subtly critiques King's personal investment in Jack as a tragic figure. Instead of treating horror as an external force, Kubrick shifts the focus to internal horror, the idea that some people are already broken, and all it takes is the right setting to push them over the edge. This is one of the key moments where Kubrick's version of Jack differs from King's. In the novel, Jack has moments of self-awareness. He knows he's being manipulated by the Overlook, and he fights against it. But here...
Hi, Lloyd. A little slow tonight, isn't it?
there's no resistance, no fear, no questioning if Lloyd is even real. Jack immediately accepts this hallucination, as if it's completely natural. And that's important because it shows that he doesn't need to be convinced or corrupted by the hotel. He's already on its side. Kubrick is telling us that horror isn't about possession or the supernatural. It's about inevitability. And what's disturbing here isn't just that Jack is losing his mind, it's how comfortable he is doing so. This isn't a man fighting his demons. This is a man embracing them. Unlike Danny, who is terrified, Jack is grinning. He willingly steps into the Overlook's world. This isn't just horror happening to him. He is participating in it. The fact that he's seduced by the woman before seeing her decay mirrors how he embraces the hotel before realizing he's trapped. Again, Kubrick's version of Jack isn't struggling against the hotel. He's walking into its horror with open arms. This is another example of how Kubrick critiques King's story. He removes the battle between good and evil and replaces it with a man who is always meant to lose. In this scene, we fully see Jack as the monster of the film. Not a man possessed, but a man who enjoys terrifying his wife.
I said, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains. I'm gonna bash them right the fuck in.
That's what makes the scene so unsettling. It's not a possession story, it's a domestic horror story. The real horror here isn't ghosts. It's the reality of abuse and control.
Yeah, it's amazing how fast you get used to such a big place. I tell you, when we first came up here, I thought it was kind of scary.
I fell in love with it right away. When I came up here for my interview, it was as though I'd been here before. I mean, we all have moments of deja vu, but this was ridiculous. It was almost as though I knew what was going to be around every corner.
This final shot seals the film's message. Jack was never the hero of the story. He was always the villain.